have it. It says live, but I'm not seeing the post.
What new YouTube?
Not on UNC. Oh, yeah, I have it. I'm not seeing the post on... it says live, but I'm not seeing the post.
What new YouTube?
Not on UNC. Oh, yeah. I'm not seeing the post on...
Candidate, UNC comment. UNC comment, come and meet your candidate. UNC comment. UNC comment, come and meet your candidate. UNC comment. UNC comment, come and meet your candidate. UNC comment. UNC comment. UNC comment, come and meet your candidate. UNC comment. UNC comment, come and meet your candidate. UNC comment. UNC comment, come and meet your candidate. UNC comment.
When UNC wins, I want to tell you, businesses win. Businesses win with lower taxes, with investments in port operations, low security costs, more forex, and a focus on growing micro, small, and medium enterprises. Businesses win with the UNC because we will establish a national commission on the banking and financial sector to make sure citizens are not exploited by the fees and interest rate spreads in the banking sector, and that financial institutions perform the essential development role of converting national savings into national investment. This same commission that we will establish, a national commission on banking and financial sector, will also work to ensure a fair distribution of forex. They will deregulate financial bureaucracy and make it easier for businesses to conduct their transactions. I say when the UNC wins, businesses win. But I say more, when the UNC wins, Families win. Now let me tell you how. Families win. Families win with no property taxes. Families win with lower food prices. Families win with no hikes in electricity and water rates. You will have more money in your pockets to spend to uplift your families. Families will win when we give them legal firearms to defend their homes and their loved ones. I say when the UNC wins, businesses win, families win. And I say more, when UNC wins, your children win. Your children win. Your children will win with a full complement of required teachers, deans of discipline, security officers, school safety officers, and police officers in schools to protect your children. You will not have to worry your child is being bullied every day at school. We will send the TTPS full time into our schools to stop children being terrorized and mentally damaged by bullies in our schools. Too many children are going into depression. They live in daily fear. I will protect your children. They win with guidance counselors, school social workers, clinical psychologists, and doctors looking after our students to stop depression, anxiety, and suicides in our children. Our children will win with the UNC, with laptops, textbooks, expanded gate, and scholarships. Remember, they shut the gate. Remember, they shut down the laptop program. Remember, they stopped the free textbook program. They have cut down on the number of scholarships. Win with the UNC and your children will win with the UNC. And of course, our children will win when we open that beautiful Debe UWI campus right here in the Southland. Right here. Right here. So I said communities, families, children, workers. When UNC wins, senior citizens also win. Because we will protect the pensions of senior citizens. Remember I told you about that bill, huh? Anybody here remembers? You know that bill is still on the order paper of the Parliament? Remember they said they're withdrawing it? It is still there. You know what they're waiting for? They feel all your dotish and foolish. You'll vote back for them, and that will be one of the first bills they will come to pass in the Parliament. So protect your pensions, protect your public assistance, vote with the UNC, win with the UNC. We will ensure that our senior citizens have continued access to SADDAM. SADDAM. They have cut that program so much. And then they have their friends in a cabal. I'll talk to you about another day because I have the data of all the big boys in their cabal. The big businesses who are supplying the medications to our hospitals. So, you're not getting the SADDAM. They've cut it down. They will not review the formulary, which is a book for which drugs to bring in. I know Jags has spoken about that before, about that cabal. They will not review the formulary. So we have outdated medications on that book. And of course, why? Because they belong to friends and financiers and suppliers of specific medications, which we can change. Any doctor will tell you that. We have to change. The world has moved on. There are more modern medications, cheaper medications. And the senior citizens will win because we will set up a system of having doctors visit senior citizens in their homes, in their district health. I come back when UNC wins, communities win. Communities win with the return of the community comfort patrols. Remember they shut that down too. We will work with you to establish gated communities to protect you and your families. Your community will win. We will provide communities with 24-hour health centers. We did it before. We can do it again. We did it before. 24-hour health centers, lighted playgrounds. Anna spoke about the playgrounds and so on. And investments in community organizations and clubs. And you know what? Stuart Young talking about the leader of the opposition, talking about the baby grant, and I'm so reckless and I'll bankrupt people to give a baby grant. But Stuart Young, you and your family bankrupting the people by recusing yourself with all the contracts they're getting. Imagine this man fighting down a little baby grant. Well, UNC, I'm proud we will bring back the baby grant to take care of our children. We'll bring it back. We will bring it back. When UNC wins, healthcare wins. Healthcare wins with the construction, equipping, of operationalizing of the catheter, well, the cath labs I call them, in all major hospitals, which means San Fernando, Arima, Grande. San Fernando has no cath lab. We had started to work with Dr. Bodo to have that cath lab. The PNM doesn't care. Their world begins and ends in Port of Spain. Scarborough, Rowdy, you call yourself a Tobago man. They have a cath lab, which we built when we completed the Scarborough Hospital, but they have no interventional doctor who can use the cath lab. We will fix that. Cath labs, you may say, what is this technical word, cath lab? You know what the cath lab does? I see Dr. Rishi smiling here with me. He knows what I mean. Any doctor here would know what happens, what is a cath lab. That would help cardiac stenting within minutes of arrival at a hospital on a 24-hour basis. So it will enable a nationwide 90-minute policy of heart attack to stenting. Within 90 minutes, there is a cath lab. So you get a little chest pain and heart attack, and you take it to San Fernando. You know what happened? You're dead before you reach in town somewhere. You're dead. We will set up these cath labs in all our major hospitals, so we could do the stenting. 90 minutes of your arrival to have the stenting take place. With the relevant staff, you will win with the construction and equipping of dialysis clinics. You know how many persons in our country suffer from kidney failure and have to get dialysis? Many, especially our senior citizens and not so senior citizens, because diabetes is a serious issue in our country. Dialysis centers, we will construct, equip at the major hospitals to have a 24-hour dialysis program. And if we have to pay for dialysis with private providers, we would pay, but only for emergency cases, because we'll have a 24-hour system in our hospitals. And therefore, you will win also. We will create a unique medical malpractice court and special investigated unit, aided by foreign experts to handle suspected medical malpractice cases. We will set up a medical malpractice unit in Trinidad and Tobago. We will not stop there, because right now the malpractice is there, many good doctors, but you should not pay for any malpractice that takes place. So in addition to that unit, we will also establish a no-fault compensation fund. No-fault compensation fund. So that affected citizens can receive some relief outside of the courts. Even if you cannot get the evidence to prove the malpractice, we will set up a no-fault compensation fund for you. We left the Couva Hospital fully equipped. And that P&M wicked never opened it. They removed all the equipment when they came into office. And therefore, when they moved that, all the warranties were voided. The calibrations went askew. Millions of dollars in equipment gone to waste by this wicked P&M government. I want you to rest assured that when the UNC wins, we will open the Couva Hospital fully equipped. Fully equipped. Are we not stopping there? When UNC wins, the local energy sector companies will also win. The MSMEs in the energy sector will win because we are formed and have operating a new body to represent local energy service companies and contractors. Right now you have one unit. What is it called, Mr. Jackman? That energy local chapter here. And at the moment, everybody locally, you have to go through that energy chamber in Trinidad and Tobago. We are saying we will establish a new body to represent local energy service companies and contractors. All locally owned MSMEs in the energy sector will be able to join and use this body to make representations directly to the Minister of Energy and to the Prime Minister. And therefore, they will not have to go through this organization known as the Energy Chamber of Trinidad and Tobago. I pledge today that the UNC will work to reopen the Petrotrin refinery in Pointe-a-Pierre to secure fuel security, and to what? Bring down fuel prices. Again, when the UNC wins, everybody wins. When we win, no one will be left behind. When we win, we all move forward together. When we win, you win, and everybody wins.
The following content contains acts of violence and terror. Discretion is advised.
Anybody help! Help, please! Oh God, if this guy don't know how much I'm upstairs, I'm gonna run upstairs. Please help!
I fully support the right to bear legal firearms for law-abiding citizens so that you can protect your families.
Time to rise up, TNT. Vote UNC.
There are people in this country with significant cash reserves in the banks of this country. Money sitting in the bank belonging to A, B, C, or D. And you ask yourself, really, what do they do with those profits?
They're monitoring how much money you have in the bank. Remember, they want you to go cashless. They want you to put every cent you have in the bank, remember? That is so they will have control of your money that you worked for. It's coming to reduce your pension.
Time to rise up, TNT. Vote UNC.
But one of the things I promise is that we will listen to what's happening around, and we'll be listening, and whatever we could have done, we've been doing so far. You're bigger than what I remember you last time, so we're standing up to make a difference in this country, boy. You know, and we're interested in making sure that in San Fernando West, we are listening to what the issues are. I just talked to Supers, they tell me about the water situation on that side. In speaking with all of our constituents in San Fernando West, crime was highlighted, issues of drainage, garbage collection, and we spoke to the Alderman Viliana Ramota Singh and all our councillors, and they really went to the city and ensured that something was done about it. The team here is in San Fernando West. We are on the ground, so I want to see what's happening around West St. Joseph with my friend Devish.
Davis Maharaj, I'm the UNC candidate. West St. Joseph. What's your name? Braffett. Braffett? Yeah. Braffett, how old is you, 68. Nah. As a young man. He's 52, man. We
start building it back here before too much went on the other side that they had to come down to First Street. So, like somebody know the minister, and they get box trains and pave road and all kind of stuff up to the drain. We on the other side of the drain. You know the story about the other side of the tracks? We on the other side of the drain. So we ain't getting fixed up and we getting flooded. I would just like to know that we have somebody there who we can talk to.
Right now we are on 7th Street, Mount Lambert. I have met so many lovely people on this street. Very reserved, some of them, but they've all come out and they've given us very, very encouraging comments. Some of them have openly declared their support, for which I am very, very thankful. Others at least saying they will consider and think about it, but really, really a wonderful community. I have had no pushback from anybody whatsoever. As a matter of fact, it's very, very welcoming. Thank you very much. When UNC win, everybody wins.
The UNC will deliver 50,000 new jobs when we form the government. The UNC will stop the P&M property tax. The UNC will deliver laptops and tablets to our children in school. We tell them the UNC will reduce food prices. Tell them that the UNC will deliver on reducing murders and solving crime. You will have a safer society. We will not support a cashless society, but you will have more cash in your pocket. Vote for a leader who loves you and your children. Vote UNC. Everyday citizens are being burdened. Central bank data shows price increases from 2015 to 2024. Bread and cereals, 39.8% increase. Meats, 45.7% increase. Milk, cheese and eggs, 31.7% increase. Butter, margarine and edible oils, 66% increase. That is the legacy of this P&M government.
Time to rise up, TNT. Vote UNC.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, now is the time to decide. If you want leaders who can build, place your ex by the rising sun. If you want leaders who can lead properly, place your ex by the rising sun. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Vote for peace. Vote for love. Vote for hope. Vote for change. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Vote for peace. Vote for love. Vote for hope. Vote for change. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Vote for peace. Vote for love. Vote for hope. Vote for change. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Vote for peace. Vote for love. Vote for hope. Vote for change. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins.
Good morning, members of the media, those who are viewing us live on our social media platforms. My name is SADDAM HOSEIN. I am the UNC candidate for the constituency of Barataria San Juan. and I would like to welcome you to the UNC press briefing being held today, Friday, 11th April 2025. Members of the media, we have asked you to join us this morning to discuss some very pressing matters in terms of accountability and public expenditure in relation to the awards of contracts and other matters in relation to a particular company, a state enterprise called the Rural Development Company or Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago. The RDC, that it is commonly called, it's a special purpose enterprise that was set up in or around 2005. And this particular company falls within the purview of the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. And on the website of the RDC, it gives the mission statement and the core principles of the RDC. And the RDC was set up adhering to the following core principles in the conduct of its business: to provide essential and modern infrastructure and social facilities to encourage social and economic activities, agriculture, fishing, manufacturing in respective communities. And what is increasingly important is this: part of the principles of the RDC is it must engage and develop small and medium-sized contractors from rural communities in executing projects to assist in employment opportunities in these communities. Members of the media, before I go into the details of what I'm going to address you on this morning, because it's very fundamental, critical matters, I want to tell those that are listening out there, I can neither be bought or I can neither be intimidated. I have a duty to the public in order to disclose and bring to the attention of the public the governance and the manner in which the public purse is being spent. So I will not be bought and I will not be intimidated. I have information coming out from within the camps of the PNM. In particular, information coming out by candidates of the PNM that instructions were given by the RDC in order to engage in something called micro-procurement. Micro-procurement is procuring goods and services under the sum of $75,000. And the message says this, and I'll read the message to you members of the media. The RDC is engaging in procurement, micro-procurement works under $75,000 in several priority communities. Awards and purchase orders will be issued based on a three-quote system with price as a primary consideration. Key projects include the construction of plinths and hoarding for the hydroponics and shade house program, site hoarding and basic infrastructure for local economic development zones, and additional works, park refurbishment, painting, minor fixes, pothole patching, small drainage works, painting and floor repairs at HDC units, repairs to leaking roofs HDC, railing painting and repair, community steps, minor road patching. For your immediate consideration, we are asking you to submit 1. A list of recommended contractors familiar with and local to respective areas, and 2. A list of priority micro-projects within the aforementioned categories, including location and a contact person. This was sent to PNM candidates in or around the 2nd of April. Why is the RDC asking PNM candidates, especially in the marginal areas, to recommend the award of contracts for works to be done in particular electoral districts and communities? That is absolutely inappropriate and borders on illegality, and that warrants a full and comprehensive investigation by the Integrity Commission, by the Commissioner of Police, and also the Office of the Procurement Regulator. This particular matter is exceedingly important, worrying. We are 2 weeks shy of a general election, and the government, we have evidence where they are using state resources for political purposes and to advance their political agenda. But listing public, that will not save the PNM. And this morning I want to make a clarion call to one, the CEO of the RDC, Mr. Jason Kisoon. Mr. Kisoon, you know exactly what is happening at the RDC. We urge you to come clean and tell us exactly what is happening. You will be protected. Come forward and give the information. Come forward and give the information. Because we have certain information that was brought to our attention with what is taking place at the RDC, which involves companies related to each other, where directors and shareholders all have beneficial interests and management interests, bidding against each other for the award of contracts and tenders by the RDC. And just to give some context into this entire scenario, when a state enterprise engages in procurement for goods and services in terms of assuming, let's say it's for a box train contract or whatever, the engineer will prepare an estimate. And based on this estimate, they will now measure the bids that come in from the contractors. And the ones that are closest to the engineer's estimate, or where you are getting value for money, that will be the successful bidder, and they will be awarded the contract. We have information where contractors were coming within less than 5% of the engineer's estimate. It cannot be coincidence where over 147 contracts awarded by the RDC fell within 3.5% of the engineer's estimate. The engineer's estimate is a confidential document. It cannot alone be sheer coincidence that these contractors were submitting estimates that were so close to the engineer's estimate in order to be awarded these contracts. And let us remember, as I started, that the aim of the RDC is to award contracts to the local contractors in the communities, because the RDC does work in the smaller rural communities and the villages. So therefore, the contract should have been awarded to the small man, the man in the community. So for example, you're doing a contract, let's say in Sanssouci. You might want to prefer a contractor from Sanssouci in order to give the community the work so that the money flows within the community. You don't give big contractors these contracts. But I have a list, members of the media, of 147 contracts that were given to big contractors, not the small man, as the mission statement and the core principles of the RDC has dictated. Now, I want to focus this morning on two particular families in terms of the award of contracts. And their close relationship, even friendships, with some of these contractors and senior government officials. The first set of contracts I want to deal with is in relation to three particular companies: Chase Logistics Services Limited, Mithdas Enterprises, and the Environmental Friendly Company Limited. All three companies, according to our information, were awarded contracts by the RDC. And there's one person who seems to be very close, or in fact may have persons related to him and or connected to him with respect to these three companies. And that person is someone called Mitra Dharam Singh. Mr. Mitra Dharam Singh has these three companies and or persons who are connected to him as owners and or beneficial owners and or controlling minds. My information is that Mr. Dharam Singh is a very good friend of Minister Kazim Hussein, and he's also a very good friend of the Prime Minister. In fact, I am told that the Prime Minister would have attended his wedding. So it shows the familiarity with respect to Mr. Dharam Singh and the People's National Movement, in particular senior government officials. Chase Logistics Services were awarded 4 contracts with the RDC amounting to $8.7 million. There's one called Vishal Tika Dharam Singh. Tika Dharam Singh, sorry. That I am told that person is the brother of Mitra Dharam Singh, being awarded 4 contracts in the sum of $8.7 million. They were awarded these contracts a retaining wall at Upper St. Paul Street, Laventille. On the 26th May 2022, a retaining wall off Lady Young Road, Port of Spain. The contract sum for that one was $1.7 million. On the 4th of May 2023, at Eastern Quarry, Laventille. And on the 10th of July 2023, a retaining wall at Light Pole 2, La Providencia, Maracas, St. Joseph. Now, I want to give you what the engineer's estimate was, and I want to give you what the contract price was. Engineer's estimate for the Laventille project, St. Paul Street, $1.1 million. Contract price, $1.1 million. Retaining wall at Lady Young. Engineer's estimate, $1.78 million. Contract price, $1.73 million. Quarry, Laventille, Eastern Quarry. Engineer's estimate, $1.8 million. Contract price, $1.9 million. The St. Joseph retaining wall, engineer's estimate, $3.5 million. Contract price, $3.8 million. And the Lady Young project started, or was awarded, on the 26th of May 2022. And at this time, we are told that that project is only 7% completed. Now, Chase Logistics Services is a company that was registered or has its registration address. According to the company's registry, the registered address of this particular company is 69 3rd Avenue, Barataria. But they are getting contracts in communities outside of Barataria. Again, against the core principles of the RDC. We have another company, Mithdas Enterprises. And Mithdas Enterprises, which is a very strange one. I have the certificate of registration for this particular sole trader. It is the usual course of business in terms of pre-qualification of contractors, that there should be limited liability companies. How did a sole trader slip in and pre-qualify to be awarded a contract of $1.1 million? How? How did this company, or this sole enterprise, the sole trader, slip in and say, listen, RDC is going to award $1.1 million worth of contract? And what is strange about this is this. The information that we have is that this contract was awarded on May 2022 for a project of the construction of a bridge in Upper Santa Cruz. The contract price was $1.11 million. The engineer's estimate was $1.11 million. And as at our information, the project is 1% completed. 1% completed. A sole trader awarded a contract of $1.1 million, and the project is 1% completed. Another company called the Environmental Friendly Company Limited. And in particular, this company also, I ask again whether Mitra Dharam Singh has any connection with this company, because the beneficial owner is one Mohani Chan Dharam Singh, who I am told is a very close relative of the gentleman. This company was awarded 6 contracts amounting to $14.4 million. That's the Environmental Friendly Company. They were awarded contracts: the construction of bridge at Mohammed Trace, St. Augustine, that was 0% completed. The engineers estimate $827,000, contract price $768,000. Road rehabilitation at Omera, Malabar, engineers estimate $1.8 million, contract price $1.9 million. Drainage works at Valencia, engineers estimate $2.1 million, contract price $2.1 million. Retaining wall at Seaview Hill Carenage, engineers estimate $2.4 million, contract price $2.4 million, with 27% of the project completed. Retaining wall at Light Pole 3, the battery off Fort George Road, St. James, engineers estimate $4.4 million, contract price $4.8 million, 84% completed. The Environmental Friendly Company. And it goes further. I'm also suggesting and I'm asking whether or not Mr. Jason Kisoon is aware that Guardsman Security Services is the preferred security provider for security officers at the RDC. And I am told that the officers that are being paid, or the company guardsman that is being procured for their services or being asked to provide security services at the RDC, that the rates that they are charging is clearly not consistent with market rates. Mr. Kisoon, we ask for you to clear the air also on that particular matter. And I want to ask Mr. Kazim Hussein whether or not Guardsman Services is also the preferred provider for security services at the headquarters of the Ministry of Agriculture in Chaguanas and any other facility that is being controlled by the Ministry of Agriculture. Those are some questions I would like you to answer on behalf of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. So I want to leave these particular companies at the side, and now I want to focus on another group of companies that were awarded contracts by the RDC. On Monday evening, at a national meeting being held in the constituency of Barataria San Juan, I hinted at one particular family that was awarded close to $70 million worth of contracts from the RDC. This family is the Ramnarayan family. 1, Bikram Ramnarayan. 2, Siam Ramnarayan. And 3, his wife, Stephanie Alexander. We are told, or the information that is provided for us is this, that the 3 companies that we are dealing with is I&U Limited, we have Sycon Developers Limited, and we have Noah Distribution Limited. These 3 companies were awarded contracts by the RDC. Noah Distribution Services Limited, their registration address is on 10 to 11 Frederick Settlement Industrial Estate, Old Southern Main Road, Caroni. Sycon Development, registered address, happens to be number 5 Grove Road, Valsayn. And I&U Company happens to be Light Pole 6 Bamboo Settlement, number 3 Valsayn South, Trinidad and Tobago. And the reason I looked at the registered address of these companies is because, again, the RDC was meant for the small man. The contracts being given to these particular companies are such that it raises some concern to us, and I'll tell you why. I want to start with Noah Distribution Limited first. Noah Distribution Limited happens to be, the director of that company happens to be the wife of Siam Ramnarayan and the daughter-in-law of Bikram Ramnarayan. And this company was awarded 5 contracts by the RDC. A retaining wall at Light Pole 67 Lengua Settlement off Realized Road, Princestown. Engineers estimate 1.6 million. Contract price 1.7 million. Road and drainage works at Joka and Trace Curep. May 2022, 1.6 million engineers estimate, contract price 1.3 million. May 2023, refurbishment works at a play park on 10th Avenue, Bon Air Gardens, Aruka. Refurbishment works at a play park. Engineers estimate $3.4 million. The contract price is $600,000. And that is very strange. And that is only 51% completed as the information that we have. How was the contract awarded for $600,000 and the engineer's estimate was $3.4 million? That raises serious concern here. Drainage works at George Street, Sanssouci, June 2023. Engineers estimate 1.2 million, contract price 1.3 million. Drainage work at Celestine Trace, Maraval. Engineers estimate 623,000. Contract price $594,000. Miss Alexander, according to the company's documents, address is in Bayshore Point, Kumana. That's the big, beautiful towers in Bayshore going into Chagaramas. Does Miss Alexander even know where Sanssouci is? Is there no contractor in that part of Trinidad that could have been given the work? Is there no contractor in Aruka that could have been given that work? Is there no contractor off Realized Road in Princestown that could have been given that work? Amounting to $5.7 million, according to documents here, by the RDC in terms of work. Were there no other companies? We then have I&U Limited. I&U Limited happens to get a very big chunk, a big slice of the cake. I&U Limited was able, according to this, be awarded close to $41.3 million worth of work, according to the documents. Touch Station Road, Caronage, Carolina, Laventil Extension Road, Malik, Parrylands Village, Indian Walk, Moruga, Dago Martin, Chamflair, Hilltop Drive, Glencoe, St. Augustine, and Point Kumana. Were there no other contractors in these areas? Local contractors. Many persons are unemployed. None of them could have been awarded these particular contracts. Of these contracts that I called out here, cumulatively, the engineer's estimate was $4.27 million, and the total contract price was $41.3 million, coming in within that 5% mark. Then, there's another company that is related to the Ramnarayan family, and that deals with the company called Sycon Developers Limited. Again, Sycon Developers Limited cumulatively was awarded $22.7 million worth of contracts. And these are close to 13 contracts. Wallerfield, Maracas Royal Road, Tableland, St. Joseph. Notice the areas I'm calling. These are marginal areas. Glencoe, Brazil Main Road, Diego Martin, again Glencoe, Gardia Street, Beverly Hills Laventil, Covine Road, Diego Martin, Lopino Road, Bellsmith Street and McEnroy Street, Curep, and Calvary Hill in Arima. Engineers estimate $23.1 million. Contract price $22.7 million. But it even gets more curious, because I have in my possession a document from the licensing division for a vehicle registered PEA 8573, a black Toyota Prado. The owner of this vehicle was one Keith Rowley, purchased on the 24th of December 2020, sold on the 5th of April 2023, and it was sold to one Bix Auto Wholesalers Limited. I have a copy of the certified copy for this vehicle. So one family gets $70 million worth of contracts, and then we see the same family is purchasing a black Prado from the Prime Minister. And if I'm not mistaken, the main business of Bix Auto Wholesalers is a car business. What you doing buying the Prime Minister's vehicle? I asked that question. It shows, again, it leads to irresistible inference of the closeness and the relationship between these particular matters. There are other contractors, and information is coming to us rapidly. I am calling again on the CEO of the RDC, Joel Kisun, to come forward and provide the information, because there are certain other matters that will have to engage the attention of the Commissioner of Police, the Director of Public Prosecutions, the Integrity Commission, and the Office of the Procurement Regulator. And I'm asking whether or not there were other issues in relation to companies called America's Marketing Company Limited and Hassi Contracting Services, Premium Contracting, and Zorina's Maintenance and Landscaping Company. These are all the matters that I wish to raise this morning with you, members of the media, with respect to these particular contracts and matters. And we will speak to you as the coming days unfold in terms of further developments with respect to the Rural Development Company. So I'd like to thank you all very much for tuning in. And we would like to invite you to stay tuned this evening to a community meeting being held in the constituency of Arima. And tomorrow, the UNC rolls into the constituency of Mayaro, where we will be hosting a public meeting. So we ask you to stay tuned. Follow the UNC's campaign as we take back Trinidad and Tobago from this wicked, incompetent PNM administration. I thank you very much. And this evening is at Arima North Secondary, and on better known as Arima Comprehensive at 7 p.m. and Mayaro meeting will be held on Saturday at the details will be provided in the on social media. So I thank you very much for your attention and your engagement this morning, and those members of the media who may have arrived a bit late.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, now is the time to decide. If you want leaders who can build, place your ex by the rising sun. If you want leaders who can lead properly, place your ex by the rising sun. On election day, vote UNC, one love.
Today we mark the practical completion of construction of this central block. A round of applause for that.
When you build, you don't build for today, you build for the future. So we took the opportunity to build not a replacement in number of beds or a restriction to the floor size, but we maximize what could have been done at the time. And today, we have come here to celebrate and to take control of the practical completion of a 540-bed modern structure which will contain some of the leading aspects of healthcare delivery in the Caribbean, if not in the world. I'm confident that we can see a new hospital as a guarantee of improvement in healthcare delivery.
Lie again. Lie.
See this? This is a 400-ounce bar of solid gold. Back in the 20s, this could buy you a decent house. And so could this much cash. This is $8,268, which was a lot of money back then. But today, this much cash couldn't even buy you a clapped-out Winnebago. Yet, this bar of gold, which as of 2024 is now worth over $800,000, could easily buy you a gorgeous home in some of the best places to live in the United States. Possibly even 2 or 3 of them. So, while your dollars aren't worth as much as they used to be, it's hard to argue with the value of gold. So if you've got $50,000, $100,000, or even $500,000 or more in savings, and it's just sitting there losing money to inflation, then it might make sense to put a portion of that savings into physical gold and silver. You can click the link for a free guide with all the details. But I'm not talking about getting a giant safe at home and filling it with stacks of gold like in the movies. I'm talking about owning physical gold and silver inside of your retirement account. That means if you have your savings in a 401k, IRA, or many other types of retirement accounts, you can now take a portion of that savings and use it to buy physical gold and silver, held inside a real vault deep in the most heavily guarded fortresses in the United States. And it's all yours, because when you click the link, you'll get a free gold kit with all the details on what it is, how it works, and how to get started. Plus, you'll learn about a special $10,000 offer you won't want to miss. Altogether, it's a shockingly quick and simple process that we help you with every step of the way. And you don't have to source the gold and buy it yourself, because we have direct access to the mints ourselves, which means you'll get direct access to purchase your metals and have them delivered to the vault, which we'll set up for you too. And it happens automatically. When you click the link below, you'll get a free gold kit that gives you everything you need to get started. Plus that special $10,000 bonus offer.
You citizens, you will be the real heroes in this story. Do not be afraid. No weapon formed against us shall ever prosper.
This is a public service announcement.
So tonight I want to take a moment.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
Kamla Prasad Bisasa. I am the proud daughter daughter of Rita Prasad. Together with my father, they created the first woman Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. I don't run away from any fight. My wounds are on my chest because I lead my party from the front. We are strategic. We are highly focused. We are well prepared. With your help, on April 20th, I will be the second female Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Las Lomas, you can do better than that. Good evening. Thank you for this wonderful atmosphere here. I don't remember last I came to Las Lomas, but this will not be the last time. So thank you for your welcome and thank you for your greetings. And to everyone who's here with us, other MPs, senators, councillors, aldermen, viewers, many are joining us. Somebody just asked us, what is the link? Because in Canada, they want to look on, they want to watch what's happening here tonight. So all distinguished members of the UNC family,